The exact moment she decides she'll sleep with you, most men miss it. The exact moment a woman decides she'll sleep with you rarely plays out the way most men imagine. It's not when you flex at the gym or flash your bank balance. It happens quietly, deep in her mind, often before either of you even touch. For mature women especially, sex isn't just a physical act. It's an emotional and psychological experience, and the trigger isn't your abs, it's your impact. It's that one conversation where she feels seen. It's the way you read her body language and respond without her saying a word. It's when your presence stirs something inside her that feels both safe and electric. She's thinking, he gets me. He makes me feel alive. He sees past my guard. And that's when she starts fantasizing about you, even if she doesn't admit it. You don't seduce her body first, you seduce her mind. Most men miss that moment because they're too busy chasing the physical cues, while she's already made her decision based on how you made her feel when you weren't even trying. Here is the exact moment she decides she'll sleep with you, and most men miss it. 1. It usually happens early. Most men assume a woman decides to sleep with them when things get hot and heavy in the bedroom. But by then, the decision's already been made. The truth is, that moment usually happens early, and it's rarely loud or obvious. It can spark over dinner when you say something that hits her emotionally, or during a text exchange when your wit and confidence disarm her. It might happen the second she hears your voice and feels a primal pull she can't explain, or when you share a story that reveals depth, edge, or vulnerability, something real. Sometimes it's the way your hand settles on her lower back with just the right mix of dominance and respect, making her body react before her mind catches up. It's subtle, silent, and often over in seconds, but once it clicks, she starts undressing you with her imagination long before clothes come off. By the time you're in bed, you're not convincing her, you're just fulfilling what she's already decided. 2. It's when she feels emotionally safe but physically teased. The moment she decides she'll sleep with you is a unique blend of opposites, emotional safety wrapped in physical tension. It's not just about making her feel secure or turning her on. It's about doing both at the same time. She needs to feel like you see her, respect her, and won't judge her for what she wants. That's the emotional green light. But she also needs to feel a low, steady hum of sexual tension. The way your eyes linger just a second longer, the subtle pressure of your hand on her thigh, the way your voice dips when you say her name. It's when her heart says, I trust him, but her body whispers, God, I want him. This exact emotional physical cocktail is rare. Most men give her safety but no spark, or spark with no substance. But when you make her feel emotionally held and physically wanted, even a brush of your hand can send her over the edge of decision. She may not say it out loud, but in that moment, somewhere between her steady breath and racing pulse, she knows she'll let you in. 3. It's when you trigger her primal mind. The exact moment she decides she'll sleep with you isn't born from logic. It erupts from instinct, deep in her primal mind, where desire isn't filtered by reason. She's not weighing pros and cons or making a checklist of your traits. She's feeling something raw and electric that bypasses thought altogether. It's when you radiate grounded masculine control, calm, assertive, unfazed by her beauty or her tests, that her body responds before her brain can catch up. It's when you walk into the room and she feels you, not just sees you. When your presence carries that subtle dominance, like you know what you want and how to take it, without needing permission, but always respecting her boundaries. That's when her breath shortens. That's when the words, I shouldn't, dance in her head while her body's already saying, yes. It's not about asking. It's about being the kind of man that awakens the part of her that craves to be claimed, not convinced. 4. The moment you stop seeking her approval. The exact moment she decides she'll sleep with you often comes when you stop trying so damn hard to impress her. When you drop the people-pleasing mask, stop chasing validation, and step fully into your masculine frame. That shift, from seeking her approval to simply being the man you are, grounded, unapologetic, and in control of your own energy, triggers something deep in her. It tells her you're not another guy performing for her attention, but a man who knows his worth, with or without her praise. When you lead the interaction instead of following her cues, when you tease her playfully without fear, when you speak with quiet confidence and hold your own space without needing constant reassurance, that's when she locks in her decision. Because women don't crave men they can mold. They crave the man who stays a little unpredictable, slightly untouchable, and totally in charge of himself. It's not about being rude or aloof. It's about showing her that her validation doesn't shape you. And that's exactly what makes her want to give you everything. 5. It's when your words make her feel naughty safely. The moment she decides to sleep with you often has nothing to do with physical touch, and everything to do with what you say and how you say it. When your words make her feel a little naughty, but in a space that feels emotionally safe and judgment-free, something inside her unlocks. Maybe it's a slow-burning story you tell with a hint of suggestion, or a clever tease laced with sexual tension that makes her blush and bite her lip. Maybe it's a deep, vulnerable conversation where you create a space so intimate, her guard naturally slips. Without laying a finger on her, you've activated her imagination, and once that starts, her body follows. She begins picturing things: how your mouth would feel on her neck, how your hands would explore her slowly, how it would feel to be taken by you in a moment that's both wild and safe. She might still be smiling, nodding, holding a glass of wine, but internally, she's already said yes. That's the power of your words, not to convince her, but to awaken her. And when you can stir her desire without stripping her clothes, that's when you know the decision has been made. 6. It's when she tests you and you pass. The exact moment she decides she'll sleep with you often comes disguised as a playful jab or a teasing remark, what many men fail to recognize as both flirtation and a test. When she says things like, "You're trouble. I bet you say that to all the girls," or "You think you're smooth, huh?" She's not rejecting you. She's checking your frame. She's probing to see if you're truly the man you appear to be, or just another guy who crumbles under a little feminine pressure. If you get defensive, needy, or try to explain yourself, the tension dies. But if you smirk, lean into it with calm, cocky charm, maybe toss back a playful, "Only to the ones who can handle it," you pass. That's when her eyes linger longer, her body relaxes, and internally she says, "Yes, this one gets it." That tiny moment of banter becomes the sexual turning point. Not because you won the argument, but because you stayed grounded, unbothered, and unfazed. And that's exactly what turns her on. Conclusion: you'll know she's seriously considering sleeping with you when her curiosity shifts from casual conversation to personal investment. When she starts caring about what kind of woman you actually want. She's no longer just enjoying your presence. She's mentally placing herself in your bed. When she asks questions like, "What kind of girls do you like?" Or "Have you ever had a crazy ex?" Or even, "What turns you off?" She's not just making small talk. She's subtly qualifying herself, trying to see where she fits in your sexual and emotional landscape. She wants to know the rules of your attraction, because part of her already wants to play the part. Her questions are laced with a quiet desire, a mix of vulnerability and seduction, as if she's saying, "I want to be the woman you crave, and I'm already imagining how to get there." This is the moment many men miss because it doesn't look overtly sexual. But to the tuned-in man, it's clear, she's not just getting to know you, she's auditioning for the fantasy already unfolding in her mind.